Hello, how are you? This is Heena from Team Vallath, and today's very important feminist thinker, scholar, or theorist is Elaine. As you know, I have started with this new series on our Vallath channel, which is that feminist thinkers you must know for your UGC Net English exam. The first lecture of this video included Mary Wollstonecraft and Virginia Woolf. In today's video, we're going to study one writer. Her name is Elaine Showalter. I'll tell you who is she, why is she so important, the concepts developed by her, her important works, so on and so forth. So please be with me till the end. Okay, let's start. Elaine, born in the year 1941, is currently 85 years old. She's a very famous American literary critic, feminist scholar, and writer. She specialized in Victorian literature, women's writing, and feminist literary theory. Okay, now what makes Elaine so important for UGC Net? You know what? Before her, much literary criticism was dominated by male traditions, or you can say patriarchy. So even if there was woman as a writer, she was judged with these standards that were developed by male literary traditions. And this is something that Elaine challenged. Yes, Elaine asked a question. She said, why should women's writing be judged through the male literary tradition standard? When a woman is writing, why should it not be judged through the woman's perspective only? And that is why she developed a new framework which was specifically to study women's writing. And this concept that she gave was gynocriticism. So, the most important question today is, who is the founder of gynocriticism? The answer is Elaine Showalter. And now tell me, what is gynocriticism? I'll tell you. Studying women as writers, this is the easiest definition. Women's experiences, themes, traditions, their literary history, studying all this, judging it not through the male literary standards, but through the standards created by women. So, gynocriticism will give a framework or a backbone or a skeleton to study women's literature on her own terms or on its own terms, right? You can say gynocriticism asks a question that what happens when we study literature that is written by women by focusing on women's experiences rather than the male experiences or male literary tradition? Easy. These are actually three definitions. I wanted to keep it a variety so that you understand why are all this. The easiest definition is studying women as writers, their experiences through their own literature, through their own tradition, not focusing on the male literary tradition, right? The uh, place where Elaine developed this concept of gynocriticism was her very famous 1978 essay called as Towards a Feminist Politics. Sorry, Poetics. Will you remember this? Towards a Feminist Poetics is a 1978 essay by Showalter in which she founded gynocriticism. But now tell me one thing. It's all like for women, by women, to women. Does criticism reject the male tradition completely? No, it does not mean rejecting male literature completely. Gynocriticism only means that you're creating space for studying women's writings on its own terms. Okay? Easy. So, the concept that you have to remember and connect with Elaine is first gynocriticism. And after this, I will tell you another concept that was developed by Elaine, which is so very important. It is called three phases in women's writing development. Okay, basically women's writing has developed over the years. Okay, initially she imitated the males, then she resisted the males, then she started discovering herself. Initially I imitate someone I idolize. Next time I want to resist. I don't want to copy. I want to resist. I want to, you can say, fight. But the third phase, the yoga phase, is self discovery. I'm like, sab jao bhad mein, I'm discovering myself. These are the three phases of women's writing that were developed by Elaine. Okay? So nice. Okay, I need to tell you, I have started with my own YouTube channel. I have been actually promoting it because I know you are here because you love my way of teaching. But one channel where I'm not practically teaching, but I'm sharing English literature, or you can say stories in English. Yes, stories from all over the world. They are stories that we will love to listen, stories that are more like, you know, a calmness to the brain, not the scrolling, the doom scrolling that we are into, some meaningful stories that will create an impact in our life that you can hear on my YouTube channel. It is actually called Tell a Tale with Heena. I'm on IG, I am on Facebook, I'm on YouTube with this name, Tell a Tale with Heena. Go check it out. And now come back here. We are talking about the three phases of women's writing that were proposed by Showalter. The name of these phases are: first, feminine phase; second, feminist phase; third, female phase. The photograph is funny because it's written feminine phase. The image says feminine phase. No, it's feminine phase. So, feminine phase actually lasted from 1840 to 1880. That is the time when women imitated male, because obviously literature was dominated by male writing, male literary tradition. So, the important idea of the feminine phase, or phase one of women's writing, was imitation and adaptation. Imitating what? Male literary tradition. After 1880 came the second phase in women's writing. It was called feminist phase. When you are a feminist, when you criticize, when you resist, yes, when you protest. So, feminist phase involved protest. Women writers challenged patriarchy. They demanded social rights, political rights, right to vote, literary rights, right to write. So, important idea in the phase two, or feminist phase in females writing, was resistance, criticism, and protest. Then came the final phase, which are we are into it currently, 1920 onwards. That's called the female phase. Female phase is all about self discovery. When you move beyond imitation and beyond protest, females expose about themselves. you know they talk about their own feelings and ideas and experiences. They explore female experiences as source of literature. So you can say an important idea in the female phase is autonomous or independent female identity and experience. Wow. Are we done with these three phases? Will you remember them? First, feminine phase, which is about imitation. Second, feminist phase, which is about protest. Third, female phase, which is about self discovery. Nice. All these were developed by Elaine Showalter. And now, important works by Elaine Showalter. These names, though, you have to know. Please, please, please. Read with me. A Literature of Their Own, published in 1977. Towards a Feminist Poetics, published in 1979. Feminist Criticism in the Wilderness, published in 1981. The Female Malady, published in 1985. Sexual Anarchy, published in 1990. A Jury of Her Peers, published in 2009. I haven't read the complete titles. Kindly look into this slide again and read the complete titles. But starting, I've told you. Will you remember these names? Of course you will. And with this, we are done with Elaine. Bye bye, Elaine. It was so nice to see you. We will remember you for UGC Net. Why? Because you developed gynocriticism. You gave three phases of women's writing. And yes, you created the women's literary tradition, right? Women as writers, perspective of women. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, everyone who's listening to me. This is Heena from Team Vallath. Take very good care of yourself. Bye bye.